Well, this is work that I have done with Dr. Lindstad. We have both worked on transportation and environment for many years. And the question we try to answer here is a question that people often ask us is, well, what good is taxation going to do? We want pollution down. We don't want their money. So what we do here is we ask what it is that the transportation sector can do to pollute less and contribute less to greenhouse gases. And then we go from there to ask what policies we need to have the participants in the sector do exactly those things. And many of those things are kind of simple, but you need to know it. An environmentally friendly transportation service typically will be less in the air and more on the surface, less on the ground and more in the sea. It'll be larger boats rather than smaller, slower movements rather than faster. It'll be buses rather than cars, and it'll be full cars and full buses rather than half-empty cars and half-empty buses. So you have to ask yourself, what can tax policy do to that? And the fact is, more expensive energy, more expensive fuels will lead people to economize on their driving, see whether they can use public transport rather. They will send things more slowly if they can. Large crude oil shipments that we are studying, for instance, will be moving more slowly from the Arabian Gulf to the US or to Asia. So with some illustrations like that, we try to look at what tax instruments can do. And many countries in Europe now are using taxes on new cars to incentivize people to buy carbon-lean cars. That also incentivizes producers to produce carbon-lean cars. Now, if people position themselves with more environmentally friendly transportation equipment, they also should face fuel taxes so that they don't use them unnecessarily much. So it's a sector that people know quite well. People know their pockets, so they know that they seek away from environmental taxes if they can. So we think we can use the sector, A, because it's an important sector to transform, but also to communicate messages about how a greener society, A, will look like, and B, can come about. A very important policy implication is that we wish to see fossil fuels taxed so that people have reasons not to emit greenhouse gases. We wish to see heavily polluting cars taxed so that people think about this when they buy their cars. We also want people to see that this is not a burden, but it's a management tool. Our cities will be cleaner. Our streets will be less congested. Now, if you want less congestion, you may want to both improve public transport and to apply congestion tolls at your urban toll rings so that people, if they can, don't travel at rush hour, if they can, don't enter into the city when it is congested, and so on. So these are management tools. They're not burdens. They're something that we choose to do because we want to see our cities different, our city life different, and greenhouse gas warming of the earth slowing down.